This is NASCAR Fan 02, and this video I would like to talk about my personal opinion on the Joey Logano and Morgan Shepherd incident at New Hampshire. Ever since that incident, NASCAR has been putting up articles relating to the incident. This most recent one talking about should there be an age cap on drivers being in NASCAR. Are there drivers that are too old to race? Can they still drive? All these theories and such. And not only that, but there have been other articles of talking about what drivers are thinking about the incident, like Jeff Gordon brought up his opinion. But anywho, I will say that this is what happened for those who didn't see the wreck by now. For those who haven't seen the wreck, Joey Logano was running second, and Morgan Shepherd at the time was running I don't know what position exactly, but he was 10 laps down or 15 laps down, and Joey Logano was moving around him on the outside, trying to get around him going into turn 3. Joey's in the second group holding in his line, and all of a sudden you see him going whipping around. Morgan claimed in an interview that his car was very undrivable, it was very bad, and he just washed up the track and just hit Joey in his right rear when Joey was passing him. Now, Joey wasn't very thrilled, and he did say some very negative things towards Morgan Shepherd in the heat of the moment, and he still goes by, some of them by saying, he got wrecked by the slowest car, and he was really upset about it. Now, what is my personal opinion on this whole matter? Well, first of all, I don't think there needs to be a age cap on driving a race car. If you can drive a race car at a very fast pace, you should be able to drive it. And I still think Morgan Shepherd should be doing what he loves to do. This man has been in the sport for so long. He has paved the way. He's not one of the I shouldn't say. He's been a driver. He's enough of a veteran to show the young guys how to teach respect, and as well as just giving them advice. Now he is older, and he isn't running as fast as he used to be, but Morgan Shepherd is a very class act, and in my opinion, he still deserves to drive. He is very passionate about what he does. He loves his job, and he likes to do what he likes to do. There shouldn't be an age cap for that. No. Now, the whole incident, what happened with Joey, my whole thing is, it happens. It's a racing accident. It wasn't intentional. It was just an accident. Now, could there have been things that Morgan could have done to avoid the wreck? Sure. If he braked a lot earlier down the straightaway, if he saw Joey coming, he should have just let go way down earlier in the straightaway so Joey can go by. I would think that would be a simple solution. Or the other one was, hold his line, but as Morgan said before, he just lost control when Joey was passing him. Now, I just think it was just a racing mistake. Morgan just lost his car. There's nothing wrong with that. People lose their cars, and it happens. And Joey was very frustrated about it because he could have won the race, possibly if Brad didn't have any problems, but Brad never did, and Brad had the best car that day. But Joey shouldn't have said that Morgan needs to take some driver's tests to see if he's eligible to race. That's uncalled for. I'm a Penske dude. I like both drivers, Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano, but what Joey said there wasn't cool. It really wasn't. Just showed that he was very frustrated about the incident, and he felt that it was all Morgan's fault, that Morgan shouldn't be driving these cars. Well, here's the thing. Morgan Shepherd was at least maintaining minimum race pace, minimum speed, so he has every right to be out on the racetrack. He can log laps and whatnot all he wants to, as long as he's not a hazard on the racetrack. Now, unfortunately, that he and Joey Logano get tangled up, sure, but other than that, I have not seen any other wrecks. that were involved in Morgan Shepherd like that. I have not seen them. I mean, seriously, there have been worse wrecks than that, where there was the Kevin LePage wreck at Talladega, where he came out of the pits and didn't see any. He claimed that he was all clear, or no one gave him notification that cars were coming. Then, bam, big wreck at Talladega. Now, honestly, though, this whole incident, I think, is just being blown up out of proportion because Morgan Shepherd, it was involving the second place car and a car that was 10 laps down. Now, if it was someone else that was a lot of laps down, like, let's say it was a car that was a couple laps down and involved that car, this discussion would not be happening right now. It would not. This is only really a discussion. I think this instance is being blown out of proportion because this happened to a second place car, and the other car involved was a car that was 10 laps down. Now, there's another question that I would like you, the viewer, to think about. What if, for instance, it was another driver that was involved? Let's say someone that was well liked, possibly Dale Earnhardt Jr., perhaps. I've heard that comment on Facebook. So I think this would be blown way out of proportion if someone with a higher profile driver profile were to get involved like that. I would think. Now, a lot of people don't like Joey because of the way he whines and complains. You gotta think about this, guys. Come on, everyone whines and complains when they get wrecked. Seriously, it's not just him. That's just my opinion. But what Joey said after the race, all he could have said was, it was a racing accident. I know he didn't mean to do it. He just lost his car. We're going to get back out on the racetrack and get as many points as possible. That's all he had to say. But he just went on and on about, Morgan wrecked me, and I'm tired of it. He shouldn't be racing in the series, blah, blah, blah. He's a hazard, blah, blah, blah. He shouldn't be saying stuff like that. Well, he didn't say that exactly, but you know what I'm getting at. But this whole incident, I think, is just being blown out of proportion, and it'll die down as soon as we go to next week, because the NASCAR Truck Series, well, at least the Truck Series, are going to Eldora. So I really can't wait for that race. But this is NASCAR Fan 02 presenting you with this about Morgan Shepherd and Joey Logano. So if you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button. This is NASCAR Fan 02 signing off.